Okay, dreamer, please.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So as you know, we'll be getting a new update tomorrow in 7 Nights 2 Global. But before we actually have any news, the Japanese developers or Japanese Twitter account actually revealed what we are actually going to get. So this is the screenshot that we have from the Japanese side, and just to translate it slightly, the yellow font you see right in the middle says there'll be 2 new legendary heroes or higher. Okay, that's one thing. The red font beside the happy holiday, which is this one, says that there'll be something about new rates of summoning, changed rates of summoning. So not too sure what that's gonna be. These are all translations from my friend Philip. And then for the black font here below the happy holiday, it says we'll be getting rewards from login events, from check-in events. The white font here on the far left, basically we'll be having some special missions to get valuable items or materials. I'm not sure which is it, but yeah, basically valuable items. And the blue font above Shay here says that there'll be a new scenario, so that means chapter 10 probably. Okay, so as you can see from the silhouette, Rudy Legendary Plus is coming out with Miss Velvet as expected. Okay, and if you watched the video I made a while ago, maybe 2 days ago, about which heroes to save for, you will know that I mentioned how amazing, how strong Rudy Legendary Plus is. And the thing is, when I was researching for that video, I realized that Rudy was released 2.5 months after the game's launch in Korea server. Currently, we are not even, we are literally just 1 month after launch. So that is literally 6 weeks earlier, and I think it seems that, you know, Netmarble is doing the same thing they have done in other games, especially in 7 Nights 1, whereby they're just going to rush the banners. We are not too sure at this point if 7 Nights 2 developers, global side, they are going to try to catch up to Korea server, because they have done that for other games, namely 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross. Okay, they tried to catch up to the Japanese server, whereby the gap right now in that game is 2 weeks apart, and it took them almost 2 years to catch up, I would say. So yeah, we are not too sure if that's going to be a situation for 7 Nights 2 as well, but that's something you may want to keep in mind, okay, given that this is happening. So what is the implication of this? Obviously it's not a good thing if they are rushing banners, especially if they are rushing Legendary Plus, because who knows, Ace may come out 3 months later. Okay, so the problem with this is that if you were to consider how players progress in the game, I know a lot of players probably, I won't say a lot, maybe 10% of the players or more or less, I don't know, probably would have reached tier 10 raids. But there are a lot of other players that are very casual and are still trying to catch up. Okay, and for someone like me who has spent a good amount of time on the game, I am still only at tier 8 for my raids. And you know that in tier 10 you do get moonstones. So moonstones are very important because they will be the currency you will be keeping to get your Legendary Plus heroes. That is something that I'll be talking about in the part 2 video of what heroes you should save for. Okay, but before that, I just want to briefly mention that moonstones are the currency that you should be keeping for your future Legendary Plus heroes. So you won't have to be using rubies. But to get there, you have to hit the tier 10 rate first, right? And then you have a more stable amount of moonstone income, and on top of that you also can buy the Legendary Plus selected hero raid up tickets from the Topaz shop. Okay, so all that in mind, when this was done in the Korea server, I believe 2.5 months into the game, most players would probably be able to reach that level of play whereby they can safely get moonstones within maybe 2 months. So they will have some buffer time before the launch of a brand new Legendary Plus, because Rudy is technically the first new Legendary Plus in the game. But now within just 1 month, I don't think many players even have that many moonstones, or even have more than 120 moonstones, because we only can get that from the monthly right now unless you spend money, right? So it all points back to the fact that they are trying to make people buy the moonstone packs and buy the selected hero packs, and it goes back to money, right? So if you think about it, this seems to be what they're trying to do. Even for 7 Nights 1, the same thing happened. They tried to rush banners, they tried to change the order of hero releases. It didn't go down very well. as we all know, right? I mean, I'm sure some people who have played Seven Knights 1 left because of that. Another thing was when Rudy was released in the Korea server, along with Len, we actually got 3 chapters added together. Okay, chapter 10, chapter 11, and chapter 12. So now they're adding chapter 10 first, and that probably could be in line with Rudy's story. But if that's the case, then, well, I guess it makes sense. But, you know, if they're releasing heroes earlier than what the story actually shows, then it goes back to the same problem we have had since Seven Knights 1, whereby, you know, they are not following the story and releasing heroes according to the story, and they are just trying to make people spend money to get heroes. So another problem isn't just about players not having enough to spend on Rudy, on Netmarble trying to money grab. It also impacts the meta and the future hero releases. Because previously when Miss Velvet came out alone, she probably had a chance to shine in PvP as well, and in PvE. But with Rudy coming out now, there's a potential change in the meta pacing whereby people will start moving into tankier comps, and then heroes like Miss Velvet may not have that kind of damage to deal with that. And in that sense, Miss Velvet will not be used as much in PvP, unlike in the Korea server, and probably will just be a DPS in PvE. And if that's the case, then her utility just straight off goes down immediately. So the only other upcoming hero is probably Mercure, who was released before Rudy, and Rudy's presence could also affect his utility in Arena as well. So these are the things that having such a new powerful hero 1 month after the launch of the game could potentially affect. And probably the developers thought that it would be great to have a new kind of meta pacing for the global server, because, I mean, after all, they did release Karin as a freebie, okay, for everyone instead of Eileen. So having that itself has changed up quite a bit of things already in global server, right? And now that we have Rudy, I think the meta is going to be pretty tanky. I would say, if for those who will be getting a Rudy, you know, you can run double Rudys with your Dylans and your Spike together, and that will be quite a powerful comp to go for, rather than the meta being just focused on Spike and Dylans for the next couple of weeks. Okay, so there's pros and cons, but ultimately it goes back to the main issue that they are trying to rush the banner. And if this goes on for the next few months, it will not be very healthy for the player base unless they implement more ways. Okay, more ways to earn rubies, to earn moonstones, make it more accessible. Then at least those players who are not spending could have a potential chance to catch up with the meta. Otherwise, it will be very, very difficult, I am sure, because the power creep is a little too fast. So those are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think about this situation in the comments. And big shout out to my channel members Fahas, Haku, Reggie, Batista, Yamaki, and ZMD Phoenix for the support. Stay tuned for more videos. Thank you so much, and see you!